Good morning, folks. This is your Bent Spokes Through the Smoke morning show. Here on the show where we give you real local news, points of views, and interviews. I am your co-host with the most, Tub D, aka GKF Tubbs. With me, as always, is the art man and the ultimate spoke bender, J Dog. Today we got a really special guest, a very close friend of mine, D Mac, aka
What
Daniel
up?
McConnell. His production label and stuff that he's pushing is called Dream and Believe. We got a very good show for you today. A live interview with somebody who really is from the struggle and also just a very good artist and an inspirational artist to a lot of the people that we grew up with. This show is not just about things going on in our area, but it's a lot based off of around the music. And not just rap music either, we are going to be putting on country artists, we are going to be putting on rock artists, any artist that is from the area. We're not going to close ourselves off to anything because we're all very musically inclined to different genres. So this is what the show is going to be on, and we're going to start it off. So D-Mac, me and you've been friends for how many years? Long
Shit, bro,
time,
like
man.
since 8th grade.
Yeah. How do you feel about the state of music and kind of just like people around the area that we know from the I-5 corridor, not just Portland, but a lot from up north and stuff like that? How do you feel about the current situation and promo and stuff?
Going off what you said, I would honestly say that from Longview to Portland area, there's a lot of talent, and it's being missed out on. It's being left out of the circle, and that's kind of a problem I had starting off. Me and you were making music from the get, and we were doing shows. Promoters were taking advantage of us. 3/4 of the acts were shit, but they would spend their own money to get into there, and it drained out a lot of talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So D-Mac, I got a question for you. That being said, do you feel like we're just not getting enough promotion here? Is that what it is, or is that
It's a mutual
come
thing.
on, give me your point of view, because I think that's what it is for me. Is that there's not enough promotion? But go ahead.
Most definitely, yeah. I think it's a mutual thing. I think promoters ain't doing their job. Artists ain't working together. And it's a dying road a lot with a lot of that, because even music videos, like, people won't even do a music video shoot for the artist to help promote each other without getting a grand down, and I understand that. You got to get back to each and every art form. So, like, if the promoter's not paying the artist and the artist then can't even book his own music video, then where are they going to go?
Right.
And
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but trust me, everybody wants to make money. We all want to make money.
That's kind of like
but
the end
you
goal.
know what? But being the creative artist part of it I think is more important. I don't know, sometimes than the money is. Almost.
Yeah, no, that's kind of why I kept in with it. I mean, it's been, I would say, since I had my kid, I've been really trying to make music. So since I was 20 years old, I'm 28 today. So I mean, it's been 8 years and running, and really wasn't any money coming into it. There really wasn't anything that was given back to me. I was just giving back to them.
Right.
But it wasn't for the purpose of getting rich. Also, it was just because I love it.
Right.
And also, it really was for the creativity.
When we started out, it was basically just about kind of expressing ourselves. You remember when you had the apartment and stuff, or even at your mom's house, man, we would just sit there and just freestyle for
hours. Friday night freestyles, bro. We would get a 40. We would fucking sit back. we didn't even have a microphone.
He said some oldie motherfuckers.
Yeah, we would get 40s each. I mean, even before we were of age, we didn't give a shit. I mean, we were having a good time.
No,
we were having a good time.
I didn't say before of age. I was like oldie.
Yeah, old English. Yeah, exactly.
Some 800.
Yeah,
everybody gets it. You're old.
Yeah, no, but honestly, we were having a good time. We were rapping I sucked ass. Let's get realistic there first of all.
I told you.
I sucked ass, and if I got liquor in me, that was the time I got confident to try to battle Tubbs.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, Dylan's a hard one to battle, man.
And
he's got game a little bit.
Liquid courage, dude. Everybody gets.
Well, Tubby had natural talent from the get, and it inspired people like me. It really did. Like, when I was right there, and I would watch Tub D just spit a flow, dude, and it was as good as if it should have been live in front of thousands of people.
Right.
I was like, dude, I gotta do this. It wasn't about the people I've already seen on TV because they didn't make me feel connected. Awesome. But he made me feel connected to it because he was my homie, and I was like, oh yeah, I can do this too.
Well, and like that's another thing too is like I mean, of course, you were kind of shifty when we first started. You know, you were just hit and miss kind of thing. But like I always encouraged it. You know,
yeah,
I never put you down and none of that shit, man. Like I always was with you. You know, and let you do your thing.
Yeah,
that's a big part of like. Working together, going back to what you said about the like local artists and stuff, is like working together, even not just to make money moves, just to express yourself with each other, you know, and level up as far as stuff like that goes. I think people really underestimate how important camaraderie is. Without camaraderie and without friendships and stuff like that, we would have no NWA. We would have had no Ice Cube. We would have had no West Coast Connection and nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
no Tech
like,
9.
A lot of no Strange music.
Yeah, which, no Strange at all, man.
Shouts out to Strange. I'm really sorry about some of the things that they're going through right now. You know,
it's been a tough road for that pack. You know, I mean, you saw it happen to Hobson and his crew early. You know, I mean, you saw, and they were a big inspiration to everybody around us.
Absolutely,
that was for sure. Like when Hobson came out and he was doing his Ill Minds, I was sitting there like listening to the lyrical content that was from it. You know, we didn't give a shit about talking about money, bitches, or hoes. We gave a fuck about the art,
right?
Yeah,
you know, and that was kind of what led us into this. A lot of the freestyles, like we got art naturally. You know what I mean? So then through time. Like, you know, we were like, man, you know, we need a studio. This is BS. We sitting here with phones recording all night long for hours passionately while there's, you know, guys that are sitting there spending hundreds of dollars just to go say, bitch, fuck this stupid stuff.
Yeah, just all day. Fucking random.
Right,
yeah.
No action.
See, I don't like rap music. I mean, I like my old school rap music like that. I mean, one of my favorite songs is freaking Ice Cube, freaking Today Was a Good Day.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have to use my AK.
The fact that they still air it so much today
I know, right?
It's so authentic, you know.
But I mean, but that is kind of a little bit, that's just probably about as far as gangster as I could probably go, you know, with this, you know, saying things like that.
Everybody's got their, their niche.
But I think you know, people like you and, you know, I mean, Tom McDonald's doing a good thing right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's actually been
he's different. He's someone a little totally bit out of my category of listening to. I mean, I check him out.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, he's not somebody I'm going to click on my Spotify and listen to a song every day. I can listen to it one time and then I'm done with it because he says all these facts and stuff, and I'm more like, I like the story. I like the feeling. I like feeling connected. If you listen to my music, I mean, my first album and
so you're telling a story with it.
Listen to it.
Yeah, so like my first album and clothing brand, it was Dream and Believe because I had a dream and I believed it. You know, and
that's so awesome.
Yeah, and so I put that deep into my songs. I mean, I got songs talking about stereo, and that's just me building a connection with that microphone.
Yeah,
I got songs that were talking about my wife, where I was building a connection with my wife and wanting to see a future. You know what I mean, with my life.
That's what's up.
I have songs that talk about my past with all my friends and the way we grew up and how it seemed like a rough road that we would never get out of. You know what I mean? Because that's where the dream kind of came in and where the belief needed to follow it up.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch again. We're gonna switch over to Jeremy. Jeremy, do you have anything to ask him, or do you have any questions for him right away?
Actually, I thought he had a good flow going. I don't know why we're just switching over to me.
Well, because I wanted to see if you had a question for him, asshole.
No,
don't be a dick.
Actually, I was letting him finish up his train of thought, but you know, it's
no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, if you got anything, just shoot it.
But no, I mean, what I was going to add to it, you know, is that, and I guess this kind of goes back a few steps to what you were saying, but it's like, you know, that's exactly what Ben's Books is about. Is it's the community, because in the music scene nowadays, there's not a lot of community. There's not a lot of artists working together in the aspect that if we all come together, we can all make something big. There's not promoters and producers working with artists in the same respect. Everybody's looking at the dollar, and in that respect, they're losing the art and they're losing the fans.
Yeah, they're not getting anything from it.
No.
And that's kind of why I was excited that you guys brought me onto this, because I was like, you know, I feel like you guys can help me a lot with this new album I have coming out and what I'm really doing and taking to the next level. I can also kind of help bring the somewhat of a following I already have kind of back to the picture of this is locally around us.
Yeah.
We can help me help you. I mean, this is an authentic group, people I trust and not only like to follow, but that can follow you and help you grow as an artist too.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do, community help, you know, type of thing when it comes to artists like that.
Yeah. It seems like Portland, like that's where we fall back to old school a lot. I mean, you go to LA, you go to Seattle, you go to these cities. There's studios every block. There's recording artists on every corner. There's promoters on every bar to every venue. There's and they're all in sync with each other. You say one person's name and 1,000 people know it, and that's only not just because of how good they are, but how good the community is back to them. You know what I mean? That's why even when people were so against what was going on in the community, to make a song about the community, stand up for it.
Well, yeah, when you stick with your community will stick with you.
You think that, but Portland's they've been dry with that. That we've all kind of been so stuck in our own lane of like trying to benefit from each other that nobody really has came together.
Right, and you know what? You know, especially after last year, we had the fires and the riots and everything like that. You know, and then the
city
virus.
Divided. Yeah, the city.
You know,
was
the
really
city's
divided.
been really divided. You know, Trump even actually mentioned us freaking over national television.
I remember, I heard it. Yeah,
everybody's been
I was thinking about you guys. I was already thinking about you guys. I was like, man, dude, Portland's sick.
Our president just said something about you. Shit.
And if you guys don't know, I'm not from Portland. I'm from outside 30 miles down the road. Like, and I live out in a small town called Woodland, Washington. I grew up there with Tubbs and stuff and other people. Tubby's not locally from there, but you know, he was somebody that came out there and found family out there and stayed.
I lived there from like age 11 on and off up until now, really, because it was just when I moved out there, it was a good town to be at.
That's Dylan's head.
So, you know, and that's where we all kind of found each other as family. We were all a bunch of lost kind of kids that kind of just came together and supported each other. We had each other's back. Absolutely. If you need the coat off my back, I give you the coat off my back. If you needed the box of Top Robin that I had in the cabinet, you got the box of Top Robin I had in the cabinet. And
coming from experience with it too, like it really was like that. Like Daniel, you know, Mac always had the pad for us to kick it at, you know, like it was either his mom's house or it was his house or whatever, and we always came together there. You know, we had homies sleeping on the back porch on the couches. We had people sleeping in the garage. You know, like a lot of us either ended up homeless or were homeless.
At some point in time. We all actually took our turns kind of in that. And if anybody had something to offer, that's what Woodland. See, that's where I didn't see that much in Portland, but I see that's why we all stuck around Woodland so much, you know, was because we all helped each other like that. Like, when I was down and out on my low, like, Tubby had his own spot, and he threw me in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had no place to go. My mom didn't want me around. I mean, and that kind of falls into, like, you know, from beginning to start, where I came from into this music and my life right now.
I mean, the motel was it was trapped out, but at least motherfuckers come over and say hi.
So anyways, some of the best music comes from pain and struggle.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the album was built. Like, you know, because what happened, if you guys don't mind me diving kind of deep into this.
Please do.
So what kind of happened was, I kind of got lost for a minute. I broke up with the girl, the love of my life at the time. I was down and out. I started doing drugs. Yeah, that was Lacey. Yeah. And we were high school sweethearts. We met in the 8th grade, got together in the 9th grade, all the way until we were like 17, 18, we broke up. And then, so I was out there running amok, heartbroken. I'm like, hell yeah.
You feel like you were silly about it now?
You know, it was definitely silly, but it was definitely real because I didn't have much from family to start with. So the ones I held close to my heart.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It was necessary too.
You know, it was, you know. So when that happened, I just jumped into a drug, you know, heroin to be safe, but I jumped into that just trying to numb the pain so I could still at least live my life and not just give up.
Yeah.
It seems funny at the time thinking about it, but at the time it was just something to cure the pain. It wasn't something to just end my life over. It was to kind of run away from the problem.
Yeah.
Instead of facing it head on. I wasn't strong enough.
Which is usually what it is. I mean, it's just people running from pain, you know.
Yeah. And you know, in that I spent a while in that kind of just floating around, not being technically the same person anymore that I used to be, because where I was quick to, you know, have people's back, I was quick to look out for myself now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it hurts when your family falls apart. The one people you love, you lose, and you didn't do really nothing personal to do that. You know, and I don't hold anybody accountable for my actions or where I ended up.
Right.
You know?
That's a good idea, man.
And that's and I learned to like I was saying to Tubbs actually the other day when we were just talking, I was like, I learned to forget, but never to forget.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't forget anything.
You can get pain from a cut, but once it heals up and becomes a scar, you still see the scar, but it don't hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way that happened. And I found myself eventually a couple years down the road realizing this is it. Like, this is gay. Like, you know, I don't like this.
What did you just say?
Let me correct you. Actually, fucking. Eventually, he got back with that girl. Not like officially.
Yeah.
He had a intercourse with his wife.
Yeah.
And then you can pick it up from there.
Yeah. So you know, I saw her walking down the road one day, and I was. She had no idea what I had become. Let's get real.
You did it dirty, didn't you?
Well, she had no idea what I was, or who I was being, or what kind of person I was, and I kind of just like worked my way back into the scene. And, you know, we started to, you know, we had intercourse, we started to walk, we started to talk, we started being in a relationship. And the next thing you know, she hits me one day off of the fucking blue, just randomly, you're having a kid with me. Like, we're pregnant. And I was like, what? And then I swung right back and was like, well, I'm addicted to heroin, so you need to abort it. And that was the coward I was being at that moment. You know what I mean? And
really?
For real. And she was like, well, you know what? Then fine. I'm going to go raise this baby on my own. Dips, right?
Wow, strong.
And she was always kind of strong. You know what I mean? She's
hard-headed too.
Yeah, she was hard-headed. She was strong. She was a lot like me at that one point in time. I was like just like that, you know. But I had been falling back into my addiction. That's where I kind of lost my way again, like I was saying. And then I thought about it for like a day, and then I started walking upriver where my brother stayed, and I just said, I'm getting clean. I called her up. I'm like, I'm getting clean. I'm going to be in this kid's life. And
that's what's up, bro.
From that very moment, I spent 3 days out of town, came back to the same hotel. People were lighting up some shit and doing whatever they're doing. And
that was my motive.
And Tub D actually pushed me away from that too, even though he was falling victim to the same stuff, you know, and you know, he still looked out for me. Whether that was one thing that I always had much respect for him, because no matter what he got himself into, he remained the same dude from day one. That's why we're brothers now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so, you know, he pushed me away from it. The minute they go light up, he was like, dude, you gotta go. I don't care. You ain't allowed to be here right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? I wanted to.
All right. You know what I mean?
You
wanted to be a part of the group.
Well, he actually, like, at one point, he came over and he asked to be a guy, and I was like, man, you got a kid on the way, bro. You got to go. Like, you can't.
Yeah, so there was no relapsing for me, actually, at that point. You know what I mean? Because my homies were coming out.
Man, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's good that you had somebody strong in your life to make sense of it all. You know,
there's
kind of put things into perspective.
Yeah, well, and it pushed me, because now look at me today. See, I'm a dad. My son's 7 years old. I'm clean and sober since that day I walked up to that fucking hill in Cougar, and me and my wife are happily married.
Yeah,
she's in college,
degrees, bro.
She's going to be an HR manager.
So we said congratulations.
Yeah.
She'll see this
awesome.
too. So
yeah,
shout out.
Hey, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and now I'm building my own business from the ground up.
Right. So what kind of business do you run right now? Let's tell these people what you do. So right now, I mean, besides the music.
So right now I'm doing pressure washing and painting. It's called Danny's Danny's Pressure Washing Services, where we provide gutter cleaning, property kind of maintenance with pressure washing and stuff to people's house locally around residential.
Now he's really a gutter king.
Yeah. So and if you don't know what that is, me and Tub D had a group called Gutter King Family, where we were all from the gutter and we wanted to make music together. But yeah,
actually,
keep it in the gutter.
You should be seeing a little bit more of that coming back up with the next album that I'm gonna be putting down. It's gonna be a lot of Gutter King Family oriented, and we probably will.
Yeah.
I'm going by GKF Tubbs now. So it's still gonna be.
Call him Dildo though.
It's still gonna be okay.
And it's not Dildo.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Cool.
Sorry, I had to say it, brother.
It's gonna be. It's definitely gonna be a collaboration with me and D-Mac.
Yep.
And it should be filthy. And D-Mac's got his mixtape coming out too.
Yes, that's a big thing going on. So I started the pressure washing business to kind of fund what I wanted to do. So I through that time. I was a union worker, and I built my business, and then my business was able to pay me back by paying for my studio time and paying, and like that's where I was saying I was getting ripped off by promoters. I was getting ripped off by everybody, and there was no way to actually fund it through the music, so I had to put that hard work in. And where I was born and raised pushing a lawnmower down the street for $10, I put that same work back into myself and for business.
Been there.
And then I built my own studio. So yeah, and now I'm at the point where I realized I needed to do something better. I needed to get a better producer. So I got a new producer now. He's fully mixed, mastered, made all the beats for all my music. His name is Josh Lee. He's locally out of the Longview, Washington area.
Shout out Josh Lee, man.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing, dude. If you guys ever need a producer that will take your music to the next level, challenge you as a artist, and really get you perfected to be the level that you deserve to be, hit him up, man. You can hit me up and I can link you through to him, or you can go on to Facebook or social media and you can hit him up.
Hit us up on Bent Spokes and we can show you the link to it.
Oh yeah,
Like that.
We're gonna leave a link down at the bottom, in the description section.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go. And yeah, he really took my album to the next level. This new album that I'm working on, it's called Soul Searching, and it really kind of.
I got this beat from Lazy.
Who am I if I never seem to find the time? I'm working hard and I'm racing through the moment like I need to find me a way I can make it right. But today don't seem like the way I wanna live my life. Yeah, I'm driving fast. Yeah, I'm skipping class. Yeah, I'm doing what I wanted while I'm smoking grass. I try to show the people you can't be the one. You gotta open up your mind and you can do it, son. Yeah, this takes me back when I took an L. I had to learn to get it, yeah, I had to win and fail. I told the girl I love that love is not enough. Before we tie the knot, I need to know if you're the one. I've been living in 10 years out, 10 years out from now. I've been living in 10 years out, 10 years out from now. Who am I if I never seem to find the time? I'm working hard and I'm racing through the moment like I need to find me a way I can make it right. But today don't seem like the way I wanna live my life. Yeah, and I'm just trying to write this song for those days I wasn't strong, for those days when I was gone, for those days when I was wrong, when I was living like a bum. I feel like giving up, I feel like my world was fucked. I felt like I couldn't live, I felt like I wasn't shit. Always walking around this town, dreaming about the day I'm big. I would turn it all around, they would say that they know him. Now I'm finally on top and it's all just making sense. I've been living in 10 years out, 10 years out from now. I've been living in 10 years out, 10 years out from now. Who am I if I never seem to find the time? I'm working hard and I'm racing through the moment like I need to find me a way I can make it right. But today don't seem like the way I wanna live my life.
So anyway, so yeah, it really dives into deep. This new album really dives into deep about me connecting with all levels of myself, like where I connect with God. I connect with my grandpa that passed away, that was kind of the person that gave me that inner strength all the time. I connect.
Yeah, rest in peace, Gramps.
Yes, for real. He was a really big person in my life, if you don't know that. And so, there's a song about him in there. There's a song to God in there that really kind of, and I'm not like just a Christian rapper. I'm a Christian, but I am a rapper, and there's two different things. And but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that is very personal that I'm excited to release this year, and it takes a whole new level when I got that producer on that with me, and it's a collaboration album that I did with him.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
D-Mac, you know what? Thank you so much for freaking giving us some, man. This has been a very, very good and good impression for everybody, and I think it's a really good thing that you're here, so you can actually express a little bit of things that maybe we don't know.
Yeah.
But Dylan's got a couple other questions for you, so we're gonna freaking
So as far as what do you think about people not putting their all into stuff? There's one thing we was talking about, you can get promoted by other people. Those promotions don't mean shit, right? If you ain't doing it.
If you ain't doing it yourself, yeah. So that's kind of why. Okay, so look, there is a lot of talent out there. There's so much talent out here in this area, and it's so hard to find. And there's a reason. It's because they might put it into the music, but they don't put it into the grind. And that's why, honestly, I was telling artists, like, you know, maybe you have to step back. Maybe you have to build that pressure washing business to feed yourself.
Right.
Maybe you have to go over to every show and introduce yourself and hand out your mixtape for free. You know what I mean? It falls back to the get-go.
Promote.
You have to promote. You have to jump into these venues. You have to do free shows to get these follows sometimes.
Absolutely.
You have to work with interview casts like your guys'
Lean
self.
on your support.
Talent
I mean,
right?
and the thing is, it's so easy. You know, I'm on this for a reason. You know, it's not like it was just handed to me. It's just a reaching out situation where I saw something that could have been good not only for myself but for them.
Yeah.
So we reached out to each other. We linked up. We set a date, and we put the initiative. I got a business to run too.
Yeah.
You know, I could be there today.
I mean,
but I'm here today.
And as far as that goes, like we all got our own things going on too.
Right.
You know, we ain't just, you can't just fully immerse and rely on your music or your entertainment or your podcast.
You gotta work.
You gotta
man.
diversify.
You gotta have a diverse portfolio, and that's another thing that we mean by, like, you know, working with other music, working with local heroes, kind of like people that are just inspirations to us.
Right.
In
Yeah.
general. I think
I did. Sorry to cut you off. I did a
Okay.
lot of when I first started off. I did a lot of charity events.
right.
And that gave back to the community a lot. Like, we did, like, bring a can. Everybody bring a can and a can of soup, Kimball soup, you know.
Yeah.
And we would all come out there. I mean, we do all age events where kids that are 15 to dudes that are 40. I mean, we all like to show off our art, and that we collaborated with each other. And that's really what showed support. And that's what this is all about.
Right.
This whole music industry is all about supporting each other and building that, because we are given the platform nowadays to really make it for ourselves.
Shit, we did events that were like charity for the venues. By
I know,
Yeah.
but you know, with the technology today too now and everything like
No,
that.
I'm saying we might as well have done it for free.
There's just, I know, right? There's just so much more opportunity for us
There
to be
is.
able to, you know, expand everything. And it's not only artists, music artists, it's artists in general. You know, painters, you know, just general artists, you know, that,
Yeah.
you know, are really
There's a lot of that
actually-
around here, too.
There's really a lot of that too.
Like,
you know?
Portland is lit. Like, don't get me wrong. There is so much talent in this area alone,
Yeah.
just in Portland. There's artists, professional football players, professional basketball players,
Yeah.
you know, track athletes,
People
bands.
that are outspoken in the community.
Yeah,
for their
and you know
political
what?
views and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
we got
too.
skaters here. We got freaking bikers here that are, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, that are really good, you know, BMX bikers, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I mean, like,
Yeah, professional skateboarders, too,
and
you know.
professional BMX freaking guys too, man. They're really freaking awesome.
Yeah, and, like, I kind of come from that world of skateboarding, you know.
Yeah, you go down to Burnside, you know.
Yeah, I love
It's
Burnside.
famous.
That was
So-
fun.
Daniel, when we were kids, D-Mac and
I was
his
there when
brother
it was built,
and everybody
so-
used to skate back in the day. We
Yep.
go to Woodland Skate Park, and I just sit there and watch people tear it up, man.
Yeah, one point in
Alright.
time we had it was a local shop called The Basement that was
Yeah.
ran out of
That shit
Woodland.
is so dope.
This guy named Ray, and he sponsored all of us, and he'd give us free boards, he'd give us free wheels and stuff, hook us up,
Right.
Nice
and he would
boards,
take us
too.
out to, like, he'd take us over to Woodburn, he'd take us over to what you just said, Burnside Bridge.
Burnside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would take us over to the
Well,
Bellingham
that's Tony
skate park.
Hawk's one of his favorite skate parks.
Yeah.
I think in the Northwest I think it is.
I think that is,
And
like,
if I'm wrong, you know what? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Tony Hawk, you might want to correct me.
Yeah, it's
But I
a
do
shame watching
believe-
our podcast, bro.
I do believe it's in
Yeah,
one of your
Tony
video
Hawk.
games.
Yeah, it's a reach, bro.
That's only
I know,
a
right?
fan, yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, but I think Burnside is one of the biggest. You know, one of the most famous
It's for
ones.
sure
is.
legendary, man.
Yeah, it's
When you go
legendary.
on to
Yeah.
Thrasher and you watch Portland shredding,
Yeah.
Thrasher goes to Burnside all the time.
Yeah,
You
all
know,
the time.
and they're one of
Yeah.
the biggest. But yeah, no, like, honestly, I think that's kind of where, like, the music kind of branded, you know, because, like, I listened to Hops and he skateboarded, you know what I mean, and I skateboarded and stuff like that, and other artists like that, you know, like, when you connect to that on your own level, you just, like, you want to do something that's personal, you know what I mean? You want to do something that's more you know?
Something that means something.
Yeah, something that
Yeah.
means something, exactly.
Right? You know, not only to you, but to everybody else too.
And skateboarding and music were both the outlets. They were
Yeah.
the outlets. You know, if I had a bad fucking day, if I had a fight with my girl, if I got fired from a job. My mom didn't want to talk to me. It was all of that. I mean, it wasn't even all bad. Some days I had a great day, and I'm like, I'm making a
dude,
song.
I like to sing, dude. You know, that's my outlet. You
Yeah.
know, it's either that or or I walk a freaking 5-mile trek. Or
Yeah,
something
you
like
said
that.
you were a karaoke jockey. Or,
Yeah, karaoke.
Karaoke, yeah.
Yeah. But I get, not to interrupt you, but I'm getting where you're coming from. But it's also the camaraderie of the like I said, the artists and everything like that. We have to be able to express ourselves some way.
Yep.
That's why I love his music, because it's just a lot of it. I mean, you can see the expansion from when we were just freestyling to now D-Max got his own studio and stuff. A lot of that being in the studio time and stuff elevated you and elevated the type of music that you do now. Like a lot of the stuff that you do is so just like inspirational and heartfelt. Like it definitely be getting me in my feelings when I listen to your stuff.
Yeah, and that's kind of
beautiful music, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really do. And that's kind of why I wanted to make it like that, because I didn't want to just make something about nothing. I kind of wanted to make something to target everybody that really was looking for that push, that grind, the next level in life, and I wanted to build it with them. I kind of wanted to motivate them. I wanted to see them play my song and say, you know what, dude, this was what I needed today.
Yeah, I think you've achieved that, man.
Yeah.
I think as you go, too, it never stops, You're going to keep building on that, keep on making it happen, and it's going to turn into something even more beautiful. And as long as we all stick together in this, whether it's through music, through promo, through just being friends, being brothers.
I believe that, and that's what Dream and Believe's all about. Like that's why, like, if I see somebody wearing my shirt, you know what I mean. Like you're fam to me. I mean, you're not just another like a fan. You're a family. You know what I mean.
And also, by the way, we are going to be promoting D-Max music. We look forward to it. We're gonna put a
link.
We're gonna put a link onto our website and everything like that, so you guys can listen to some of his music. From what I listened to today, I was very impressed by this young man.
Thank you.
And I'm really impressed by the fact that he holds my son so high.
Yeah.
Not that I'm impressed that my son's not like that. It's that I'm impressed that you took to heed that he's a good man.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And that's where like Gutter King family kind of started, was because me and Tub D we both were our own characters in Woodland. Like we didn't switch up really on it to be somebody else. Tub D was a very big inspiration to a lot of kids because he held his own and he didn't switch for nobody.
You gotta be you.
Yeah, and like me, like he said, I always had like a pad and everything for everybody.
Right.
But that's because a lot of the days, like even when everybody was down and out doing drugs or being stupid, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm gonna hold my own still, and you know what? I'm not gonna switch up on my family, because my family, they might be going through something rough, but I'm right here for them.
Yeah,
you never did, man.
Yeah, you don't lose out of that.
Exactly.
You know what? You saying that, I take very much pride in trying to do the best I can to be in both of my boys' lives.
Yeah, and we all hit that kind of rough spot where we got to remember that we only have each other.
Right, and there's been rough patches here and there, but there's nothing else more important than just to be there.
Yeah,
and be a part of it. Doesn't matter. You know what? Sometimes it doesn't matter. It's all about everybody else and not you.
Yeah.
So don't be self-absorbed, type of thing.
I gotta follow you up on that, because
go for it.
On the album, you're gonna hear a song called Gramps, and Gramps, he was that guy. He was that. He was that guy that, like, no matter who, I've always kind of been to everybody else is who he was to me.
Okay.
He was that guy where if I was on a street, sitting by a street light by myself, and nobody was opening the door, he would answer the phone call at 2 in the morning and be like, cracking my ass up with jokes, laughter, and reminding me who I am and why I'm alive and why I should be alive.
That's awesome, dude.
So, I always wanted to kind of, whatever I had to offer to somebody, that was my family, that I consider my family, not by blood, by means at all.
Wow.
But what I consider my family, period, I had your back.
Right.
Whatever I had to offer.
Right.
So that kind of brings up an interesting point, too. So I know we were talking outside before the show happened, but my grandfather got me into boxing, and you got a boxing event coming up, don't you?
Yeah. So I'm not in the event yet, but we have this kind of the underground boxing going on out here in Portland now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends are in it. Shout out Octavio. He's got a passion for it, a drive. Just
Oh, does he? Is he savage?
He's vicious, man. Watch out for that guy, man. And I'm really excited what he brings to the table. He's going to be boxing this guy named Packard Brown, a big name around here. Everybody knows him. He's got his own music.
When is that event?
I don't know when the event is. We're still being updated on the time and the date and the address.
So when we get an event scheduled, you know what? We're gonna let you guys know. So if we have to sell tickets, we'll sell tickets. It's either that or you just show up.
I think we're gonna.
We'll give you the details.
Yeah. I think at one point, probably for the event, we will do some of the commentary. We will cover the event fully, front to back. And, as long as we still got to reach out to Octavio and stuff like that.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him too.
I want to see this boy box. I want to see what he can do.
Dude, he's amazing. He's amazing. I've watched a lot of his stuff. If you go on his YouTube, he throws clips up of him training. I'm sparring with other people.
Oh, really?
And he's already had a few matches, and he was victorious in them. And
so, what is he? Is he middleweight, lightweight?
Yeah, he would definitely be. I would say lightweight or something, or featherweight, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the terms because I'm not that.
Featherweight would be before lightweight.
So he's I would say 5'9" and 100 and probably 50 pounds.
So he's lightweight.
Yeah,
a featherweight.
But he's bulky. I mean, he's bulky.
But
he's short and stocky. You don't want to.
Right. You don't want to fuck.
Don't underestimate him. I think he's going to give you guys a good show coming up.
He might kick your ass. Watch out for it, dude.
So I've been messaging him. I mean, Tub D knows this. Every fight I've ever really been in my life, I've won, and people knew around Woodland not to really fuck with me on that. And
Mac can throw them things. We used to body box.
We used to body box. Yeah, and it was left and right all the time.
We never. I don't think any fight me and him got in. It always ended because we were breaking shit. So we had to stop.
Right.
Yeah, it was always left and right.
But you know about our history.
We put each other through.
We don't know about our
tables and all sorts of shit, man.
Okay, so we're gonna.
We mentioned it. We mentioned it.
Yeah, we mentioned it a little bit, but
break it down.
Jeremy and I have. I don't know, Jeremy. You might want to chime in on this a little bit.
You started this.
Okay, I know I did. Fuck.
You drive us down this road.
I know, yes, I will. I will take the wheel, and I'm not Jesus. Anyways.
Oh, no, but nobody made that claim.
So, anyways, Jeremy and I've always, my life, I've always grew up. Street fighter.
Yeah.
We kicked some ass. I've got my ass kicked a couple of times, and it's usually by more than one person.
Yeah.
I've only had my ass kicked by one person one time, and that's because this big black guy was really bigger than I was, and I couldn't handle him, dude.
Yeah, and I've been like that.
He beat my ass, dude. I was like, dude, but you know what? I did get a few good licks in, but
the only fight I was ever in where I would say I got trashed, and this is, I don't really count this as a fight. You can call it corny or not, but. I was. I'm
gonna call it corny already, dude.
No, so check it out. You hear me out. So we were doing a big boxing thing after high school and everything. We all it was end of the year.
You and stuff.
No, this was actually when I was in the center during a little bit of time when my mom moved out there.
Shouts out Biju and Casey, by the way.
Yeah, and so we did a boxing thing. They had UFC gloves, and this kid, he beat the shit out of my twin brother. By the way, I have a twin.
Shouts out Raymond getting your ass kicked.
Anyway, his name was Gage Boyce, and he was a buff little kid, man. He was a good running back, everything like that. He was on a football team. He was good, and so there was a little bit of beef there, and so we were doing the boxing matches, and Gage just randomly said, "Oh, I can fuck up Daniel, right?" And and Casey, he pulls out his phone. He was like, "I'd like to see that right now." And speaking of shouting out Casey, so Casey pulls out his phone and he's like, "I'd like to see that right now." So the group of circle, everybody from the high school that was at the party, they all circle around. We're in the woods. Bam! Not even 10 seconds, dude. Just uppercut him straight to his jaw. Dude dropped him, just rocked him left and right.
He had a glass Joe.
Oh yeah. Well, he ran. He went into his football moves. He was like, "I'm gonna run and tackle this guy."
Oh no!
Oh, he ran right in my fist.
Right?
Oh, dude, dropped him flat, and I hit him 3 more times. Casey still probably got the footage somewhere. And
I used to love guys to do that, man. You give a quick skip knee.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, so I felt good. We got in a few more boxing matches, and I won them all. And then later in the night, so I get trashed. I'm celebrating. You know what I mean? Not only did I beat the guy up that talking shit about my brother that he beat up, but I beat up a few people and showed my way up from Woodland to the center now.
Yourself.
Yeah. So now, and I'm in 9th grade. And the super senior comes there. It's the end of the party. I'm shit-faced drunk. I'm stoned out of my mind. I'm celebrating.
He
He just showed up. He hasn't had a drink. And
really?
he's going
He
to the
got an
Marines.
edge
He's a
of you.
super senior. I'm a freshman. And I was like, yeah, I'll fight him. Because he's asking everybody. So I was like, I'll fight him. Dude, the first round, not to mention that this guy's 280 pounds and I'm like 160 in there.
Oh, really? Yeah, you got your ass handed to you.
He hits me one time and I go to throw a punch back and fall over. That's how drunk he gets on top of me. Yeah, he gets on top of me and you just see my head pounded in the video for like 1.5 minutes off the concrete. Just It was concrete, it was rocks, but yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
And now I'm sober.
Brutal, dude.
That was in the woods. Dude.
Yeah, so first round's over. I did not tap out or anything.
I'm going to get back to my story.
Yeah.
So, anyways, J-Dog and I, J-Dog kind of brought me into the business of being, with the bouncer stuff and, with the karaoke stuff and everything like that. Him and I were facing, 2 big crimes one night for doing something that I guess I could say, if I'm going to say this correctly, and I'm not going to be PC about it, so fuck it.
Yeah, let them know.
Dude, it was Captain Save-A-Ho type of thing. So this guy comes out of the club, and we're bouncers downtown, and this guy comes out of the club and, starts beating on his woman, and we're standing right there, and
well, if you're gonna be straight with it, he threw her down a flight of stairs and threw a glass
and then threw his cell phone at her head and everything like that, dude. It was brutal, dude. So, anyways,
the truth be told,
I got into it. Jeremy got into it. I was the most one that got into it at first, and then we had our boss ended up.
Yeah.
It was a shit show, dude.
Yeah.
So we're looking at freaking 2 Measure 11 crimes for kidnapping and assault. So kidnapping, because you move anybody over 3 feet, you're kidnapping that motherfucker.
Yeah, they always want to fuck you like that.
I know. Well, especially here in Oregon.
You spit the wrong way during a physical crime, man, and you're.
I know, right? But it was a person crime. But you know what? I do believe that what Jeremy and I did wasn't wrong.
No.
The guy that he might have suffered. Or whatever.
He didn't suffer at my hands. He suffered at someone else's hands.
He might have suffered. It wasn't in either one of our hands. I mean, either one of our hands. So he suffered a little bit.
To turn that back to center, neither one of us really beat on this dude. I ended up saving his life.
Yeah, Jeremy did, and he ended up saving my motherfucking life.
Yeah, my boss tried to stab me when I tried to save him, so I ended up breaking my boss's wrist to get him out of the building and not dead.
Oh, there was a fire extinguisher involved too, wasn't there?
Yes, I have a permanent lump on my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we grew up that way. Dylan knows that too. Dylan knows that fucking dude. I grew up a fighter.
I'm
man.
sure too, because
we always freaking savage.
We were quick.
And Jeremy used to freaking do fight things down at.
I fought at the Roseland. I fought up at Fort Vancouver. Yeah, no, I've.
But you used to do the cage down at the freaking school down there on Stark, right?
We sparred down there, but I mean, yeah, it's my training's a lot more formal. I mean, I've been training martial arts since I was 3.5. It started with a family friend in Aikido, and then it migrated, between Kempo, Jiu-Jitsu, Jeet Kune Do.
Mixed martial arts.
And that's kind of like the thing is like everybody I feel like out here in the Portland area, they've all like had to defend themselves out here a long time.
And we do.
And I think that's part of why, people need to know like the realness about Portland. And that's kind of why I was happy to kind of jump in here. Because I know where I grew up, it wasn't as bad out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when I came out here and I started to be brought out here by other people, I realized that like... There's a lot of people out here that are dealing with a lot worse than that people like to see on TV and social media and stuff. There's a lot of worse. I mean, there's shootings up and down these blocks, and I see it.
Oh man, it's terrible, dude.
Well, people don't understand that. I
don't even like walking outside with my equipment like that. You know what I mean? Just
over the past,
it's freaking.
Over the past 10 years, I mean, Portland has really kind of been made out to be a joke with all the gentrification, with Portlandia, with. Just everything else is like people do not understand how
and the riots and everything
Portland always was.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you know what? You start walking down these trails now, these picturesque trails that our tax money is paid for, is littered and everything with our homeless, which is not, our homeless problem is a problem, yes.
Yeah.
But when you start seeing needles and things like that on the trails like that, those are meant for freaking, those
kids.
trails are meant for freaking families.
Yeah. Portland doesn't want to, honestly, they don't want to do much about it. That's why, I mean, like, it's hard to blame the homeless community for just sleeping on the streets.
We can't. That's why I said I can't blame them, you know, but I don't know, what do we do about it? I mean, how are we going to fix this?
Well, and that's up to the people up top that are voted in. I mean, a lot of this is just honestly figuring out, you know, where they're going to start funding that money to, you know, and doing something with it.
There is no way.
Every time that money,
I'm sure there's not.
Every time that money gets approved and through, you know, through a vote.
What were you going to say, Jeremy? You said there's no blanket situation?
There's no blanket solution to the homeless problem. There's no blanket solution to the violence problem we got on the streets. You were talking about the money. We've got money getting funneled to politicians that aren't doing the damn job. You know, we've got an issue with leadership here in Portland. You know, we got shit that, I mean, with the rioting that happened on the street, I mean, that shit sucked. But now we've got politicians that come through with the defund the police program. It's like, no, we need to retrain the police. But when you completely take the police off the street, look what happened right now. We've got like a 1,600% uptick in crime.
It's gone up 800 since COVID started, I think.
Yeah. And, you know, we got people shooting people for freaking no reason, dude.
Families don't even feel safe. I mean, you don't even really see 6, 7-year-old kids outside playing by a sprinkler.
I was just out in Scott Pub the other night. This guy busted out his AK just before I got there.
Yeah.
And I went over to the store after the pub closed down, and the guy at the store was saying, yeah, this bullet came right through the freaking window, almost hit me in the freaking face.
Yeah,
and he pulled it out of the wall and said, hey, told the cops, do you want this? And the cops said, no.
Well, I mean, and it's
I'm like, dude, it's actually the bullet that came through the freaking.
It's everywhere too. It's not even just southeast. They're just over here, 3 blocks down the street from my sister's house in the same apartment complex. There was a big shooting. This dude got fucking murdered out front of his apartment. I almost got robbed just a couple nights ago.
I had a gun a few weeks ago, freaking right in my freaking skull.
When I was 16, the first time I got a gun pulled on me was a 9mm Beretta in Gresham. And a dude pulled it out. I bought him beer. I was hanging out with Alexis, my little sister.
But you were smart enough to be able to take care of it.
One of the dudes pulled out a fucking gun on me just because he was drunk and trying to show off. You know what I mean?
Stupid.
Yeah, I actually had that happen to me one time when I was out in Portland. I was supposed to go to a club with some friends and stuff. You know, this was during my just kind of my phase of just being reckless and being whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just rapping out in a parking garage out in Portland downtown. And like 4 of these guys come up and like try to act like they were gonna like, you know, steal the girls and shit, just being stupid as fuck. Dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck you, fools!" You know what I mean? Because I just come from that kind of like, dude, put your fist up. You know what I mean?
They were different.
And they were completely different. I had no idea what I was walking into. One kid pulls a gun out right away, and Alex Ray, that was with me at the time, he got scared shitless. I got scared kind of shitless. I've been like shitting my pants, but I'm still standing my ground, just trying to fucking believe that, you know, at this moment, like, he's not going to do shit. And then this other buddy, I actually did tell him to put that shit away if he ain't going to do anything.
Right.
And, you know, I kind of got saved by the bell on that. And that was me walking into a situation ignorantly, from where I come from versus what I thought Portland was because of what it's made out to look like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of... And that's what happened. And, you know, and I mean, we were able to, like, find a standard ground where we all could be around each other because we were all walking to the same direction anyway. So we all walked and we started rapping all around each other and stuff. And it turned out to be a good situation. But where my ignorantness came from, like, just not knowing that they would be like that, I just, you know, I put myself in a bad spot for a second.
How I really learned how, like, different places maneuver and stuff like that is first off moving to Woodland, going from, you know, out here they don't give a damn. They'll bust shots off on any road, any place, anytime, you know. To out there, it's a little bit more organized. People are a little bit more old school, handle things with their fist, and also just like the crime back when I was doing it, it was a lot different. You know, people would hide things in the trees rather than bust it out in the streets. Yeah. And then moving to like working with the carnival, going to different places, seeing how these different cities and towns maneuvered and stuff like that. You kind of just get hip to, okay, you got to always be aware of your surroundings and always kind of just sit in the corner of the room if you don't know what's going on and just kind of check it out.
Well, and
don't ever put your back to the door, man.
And like going back to like, honestly, routing this kind of back to the music again. When I first was in Portland and I was doing music, you know, as an individual myself, you know, you feel uncomfortable. You go out there after you've been in an experience like that. And because I was in those experiences that I talked about just a minute ago, before I was doing the music.
Right.
So, and then when I started doing the music and I was going to Portland for the shows, I mean, it wasn't no racial profiling or anything. It was just the uncomfortableness of, who's going to do something fucked up. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
And I'm serious.
It doesn't matter
there's
what color you are or what,
it makes
who you
makes
are.
families feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that's what we got to work on as a community, is showing that you can be comfortable here.
Right.
Yeah.
You can come to this venue. Your family's gonna be fine.
And your family's totally gonna be protected. If we have anything to do about it, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I think, why like Ben Spokes is probably good, because it's gonna shed light to where you can go and you can be an artist and you can submit your music and bring your family out and have a good time.
Right.
You know,
and also be just just a person. And
nothing's going to happen at one of our shows, and if it does, we got it handled.
Right.
Yeah, we got security. I mean,
hell yeah. Look at this guy right here.
Oh, yeah, just my security background aside, I mean, we've also got contacts with some of the best security in town.
Yeah. There's
that we're gonna
Island
work with.
Boys downtown and stuff like that we're gonna probably be trying to connect with. We're gonna have make sure that everybody's out in a very safe and secure.
We have sleeping
situation.
giants. It's okay.
But I don't know. I think on that note, we should maybe wrap this up. I think we hit everything. All your points and stuff.
You guys can find me on all social medias. You guys can see me on Facebook, Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, SoundCloud. Just go look under DMAC with an @ for an A. So DM @C.
Right.
And you also can, the clothing brand, I wanted to shout it out before we leave. This is my buddy Robert's clothing brand. He's a really good friend of mine. He's a musician. He's from Bakersfield, California, that moved out here.
Yeah.
And
shouts out Robert. He's me, man.
I can't pronounce it very well, but I'm gonna go ahead and have Tubbs pronounce it.
All right, the movement that he's coming up with is called Alejandro Motivación. It means ambition and motivation.
Yes.
Check Robert out, man. He's a really down to earth artist. He's also
very.
I want to have an interview with him next time. He's one of our Hispanic friends. He
is very talented.
Be looking out for him, man, because he's on some other stuff, and he's been through quite the struggle himself and changed himself into a very positive role model and a positive man in the community and stuff. So shout out Robert.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be looking to get other guests on here. If you see this podcast, you feel you've got something to say, you want your voice to be heard, then reach out to us, please. benspokesposse@gmail.com. All of our connections, all Daniel's connections, DMAC, it's all going to be in the descriptions below. So do check that out. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe.
Right.
Yeah.
Hit that like button and subscribe, baby.
Thank you guys all for having me out.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And also, you know what? Like Jeremy said, hit us up on either on Facebook or benspokes@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Just check us out, and we're on the YouTube. We're on YouTube. What is our YouTube address?
It's Ben Spokes Posse.
Ben Spokes Posse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also find us on Facebook, Ben Spokes Posse.
Yeah, Ben Spokes Posse. Everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a wonderful day.
All right, folks,
we'd like to thank DMAC and for being here tonight.
Appreciate it.
It's just always a pleasure to have somebody else from some other genre to put their point of view into everything like that.
Yeah.
So
I love the just to have the conversation. It's good
for sure,
and we're happy that we're here. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Yep. Thank you, brother.
All right, folks, that's your Ben Spokes Through the Smoke morning show. Tune in next time. We're probably gonna have another interview, and we're definitely making big money moves, baby, and big family moves as well. You know what I'm saying? Man, but never broke, and the wheel keeps turning.